Go to Google and type Rathod's IAS. Then you can see our website, Rathod's IAS Academy. There you have to click on login or register in the blue color. So if you have not registered yet, you have to click on do not have account and fill the details. So once you have login, click on the courses. There you can see course list. And in this course list, you can see wide range of courses. Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 9th June 2022. So let's get started with our discussion and let us try to see our quote. So our quote is based on education. Education is the mother of leadership. Okay, so education is the mother of leadership. So now let us try to see first topic. It is regarding inflation. Okay, so there are many articles in our Hindu newspaper today regarding RBI's monetary policy. So actually in 2022 UPSC prelims, there were like 3 to 4 questions were made regarding this RBI's monetary policy, price stability and inflation in our country. So this topic is very important and you have to know basic facts or concepts regarding this inflation, RBI's monetary policy, RBI's interest rate, everything. So please ensure that you have completed those basics. Okay. So now let us try to see this topic. It is very important from your economy point of view, which mainly comes to GS paper 3. So actually, what is the thing? What is the news? So here RBI, which mainly came up with increasing of interest rates. So RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India, which is Central Bank of India, which mainly now joined the battle by increasing, that is pitching means increasing the need to keep inflationary expectations under check. So it want to keep this inflation under check. So because of this, it is mainly came up with some decisions. So just over a month, our RBI Monetary Policy Committee, which mainly decided to increase interest rate, that is 40 basis point, okay, of interest rate and about 50 basis point of this CRR. Okay, so this is the thing which mainly said in the last month, and we discussed number of articles regarding that. And for the first time in almost 4 years, this rate setting panel has followed up with further 50 basis points of increase in this policy repo rate, and now it decided to increase further 50 basis point. And this monetary policy committee had made it clear that it no longer going for this accommodative policy, and it mainly came up with this constructive economic policy or monetary policy of RBI, and it is mainly focusing on increasing of interest rates, such that what happened, it will mainly decrease the money supply in the market, and whenever there is decrease in money supply in market, that will leads to controlling of inflation in the market. So actually the target of inflation that should be maintained in the country is 4 plus or minus 2, that will be 2 to 6%. But now here Monetary Policy Committee, which is mainly having the retail inflation of average 6.7%. Okay, that is higher than competitive of target that need to be maintained in the country. So even we are seeing there is increasing of price, there is price gains, they are now expected to accelerate to 7.5% pace in this April-June quarter. Okay, in this April-June quarter, there might be increasing of 7.5%. Right, so even this CPI, consumer price index based inflation, which is very much high, it is about 6.2%. And because of this here, monetary policy of RBI, which mainly came up with this inflation target, and it want to decrease this inflation. So what are the important reasons? As we all know, because of this COVID-19 pandemic and because of this Russia-Ukraine crisis, there is increasing of edible oil prices, there is increasing of this crude oil prices, and even there is increasing of this electricity tariffs, and even manufacturing service sector, they hit a lot due to this COVID-19 pandemic. So these are some important pressures that we are seeing in our economy. So the inflation, which mainly increasing large over every other aspect of outlook for economy worldwide. And not only this increasing of inflation, that we are also seeing one more challenge here is stagflation. Stagflation is decreasing of growth, and on one side we can see there is increasing of unemployment rate. So this is the one important fear that we are mainly having. So recently RBI, which mainly came with estimate in April forecast of GDP, which mainly said that the growth will be like 7.2%, okay, and there it mainly cited about ongoing recovery, which we are mainly seeing in some core intensive sectors, and we are expecting that there will be some boost, and especially there will be some increasing of rural consumption, and we are expecting the good rainfall, good monsoon this year. Okay, but what happened on another side, there is increasing or acceleration of inflation that is mainly seen. So here, what is the important reason for this acceleration of inflation? So it is mainly the resultant erosion of purchasing power. So whenever there is increasing of inflation, that will also lead to erasing of erosion of this purchasing power, that is decreasing of purchasing power of people. So this is a thing which mainly said by this World Bank. Okay, so this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding safe food. So actually yesterday we discussed about one report, okay, that is a states for food safety report, Tamil Nadu, which mainly topped the list. So regarding this, there is one article in our editorial page. So now let us try to discuss that topic in detail. So if you see here in this food safety and as well as consumer empowerment, so these are the two important areas we need constant attention, constant reforms in India. So what are the laws we are enforcing in this food safety and this consumer empowerment? So they are mainly having some lacks, that is loopholes. So here, if you see here, recently State Food Safety Index released, and in this States Food Safety Index, Tamil Nadu, which mainly topped the list, okay, among 17 large states in India, and after that the second position which mainly occupies by this Gujarat, and third position by this Maharashtra. Okay, first position Tamil Nadu, second Gujarat, and third one is Maharashtra. Actually this index which mainly developed by Food Safety Standards Authority of India, and this Food Safety Index which mainly evaluates states and union territories on these parameters. Okay, for example, they mainly focus on human resource, institutional data, compliance, food testing, infrastructure, surveillance, training and capacity building, consumer empowerment. So these are some important areas. They are the some important parameters of this index. So Tamil Nadu, which mainly improved in two important things when we are comparing with that of last year index. So it mainly improved in human resources, institutional data and training and capacity building. So in these three areas there is improvement of this Tamil Nadu, which is mainly seen. And there is also some improvement that is mainly seen in this compliance as well, and even food testing area. Okay, so in these areas also which mainly improved. And if you're talking about Kerala which came second time last time, and now the place of this Kerala which occupied 6th post, and Karnataka which mainly retained its 9th position itself, and if you see Telangana which mainly slipped from 10th to 15th. Okay, so this is about the ranking of other states. And among these union territories, Puducherry which mainly rose to 7th to 6th spot. Okay, so here we have to focus on some areas like food safety. States alone cannot have a big difference without the support of central government. Here, for ensuring of food safety, central government should also give some assistance. Okay, assistance to these states and union territories. For example, laboratory infrastructure and improvement of manpower, both technical and non-technical issues as well. Okay, so even private sector should come forward mainly to have a staff which mainly trained at their cost, where such persons are used for the productivity for the purpose. And as to our needs, we need to go for participation. Okay, we need to also focus on this participation of some information technology majors, that is IT majors, in getting surplus food, okay, etc. And next one is in these food safety, so each and every stakeholder who are involved, they need to be responsible and they need to be transparent, and we need collective and as well as well coordinated action. Okay, so this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding Indo-Pacific region. So this article which is mainly talking about this IPEF, Indo-Pacific Economic Forum. So this article is important from your GS paper to under international relations. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. I will try my level best to make you understand this topic in various dimensions. So this topic is exclusively important from your mains. So how many countries are of part of this Indo-Pacific Economic Forum? So first you have to know that. So we have 13 countries here: US, Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, Philippines, Brunei, Indonesia, here India, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Australia and New Zealand. So these are 13 countries, right? So what is this IPEF, Indo-Pacific Economic Forum? So this Indo-Pacific Economic Forum, it is a substantial step which mainly taken by US. Okay, US as a part of decade-old pivot to Asia. So actually this pivot to Asia, it is a framework. So it is mainly focusing on desiring to make Indo-Pacific region an engine of global economic growth. So they want to make this Indo-Pacific region which is an engine of global economic growth. And the important aim of this IPF, it is to strengthen economic partnership among these participating countries, and they are also focusing on resilience, sustainability, inclusiveness, economic growth, fairness and competitiveness in this Indo-Pacific region. So this IPEF, which already was joined by India, Japan and Australia, and going beyond this quad, okay, also by 10 Asian countries, okay, and even South Korea and as well as New Zealand. So this IPEF, it was launched with a dozen of initial partners who together represents 40% of this world's GDP. So if you're talking about the 4 pillars, first one here is we have supply chain resilience. Second one is we are focusing on clean energy, decarbonization infrastructure, and third one is taxation and anti-corruption, and fourth one is fair and resilient trade. And if you're talking about what is the significance of this IPEF, so we are mainly focusing on countering of China. So China, which is not a member of this IPEF, so that we are mainly focusing on countering of this China. And as far as economic cooperation integration, so here this IPEF, which also provides many intermediate benefits on economic fronts, for example regarding cooperation in investment and technology and development for clean energy, etc. And next one is opportunity for India. So India, which is mainly joined this RCEP, which is a strong statement, okay, regarding commitment of this Indo-Pacific goals. Okay, and it is also very much helpful for broadening of regional economic cooperation. So we are mainly focusing on even regional economic cooperation. And if you are talking about what might be the challenges that we can face, first one is so common grounds for countries. So US officials, they have make it clear that IPEF is not a free trade agreement. Okay, it is not a free trade agreement, nor it will discuss this tariff reduction or increasing of market access. So because of this, there are so many questions which mainly raises regarding utility of this IPEF. And this one is 4 pillars, they mainly lend themselves to some confusion. Okay, so here this group, which mainly joined by this 13 countries, they had to set their standards together to open issues that vary from each other. And this one is Indian traditional positions. So whenever there is a progress in some of these areas which are mainly identified by this IPEF, it may also involve many departures, okay, from this India's traditional positions. And this one is taxation. Regarding this taxation also, there is one dilemma. And this one is unheard views of businesses and views of Indian businesses. Okay, they mainly normally compete globally and they are not heard. So the voices that are heard of the business that are afraid of competition by happy to lobby for protection for their survive. So they are mainly focusing on the protection rather than competition. And next one is credibility of this IPEF. So given fact that this US previous initiatives, for example Blue Dot Network and as well as the Blue Back Better World, okay, that is B3W initiative, so it had a very little impact. Okay, so this is also one cause of concern. And next one is way forward. So what is a way forward? So we can go for establishing of common standards. Okay, so we need common standard, so that should be based on deeper integration in future. And we need to set some standards. Standards will cover labor rights, environmental standards, protection of intellectual property rights, etc. And we need to go for balancing of self-reliance and globalization. So the government has repeatedly clarified that Atmanirbhar Bharat does not mean isolation and protectionism. So also India has always expressed its desire to attract foreign investment and even to become a part of this global supply chains as well. And next one is managing of taxation use. So India should initiate an internal review regarding this tax administration, and we can involve number of experts and even Department of Revenue to come up with suitable changes. And next one is we can address some technological related issues like digital trade and as well as e-commerce. They are the one more important and other critical area which are mainly included in this IPEF. Okay, and next one is simplifying trade negotiations. So we are mainly considering this complex trade negotiation process. There is a need for empowered. Okay, there is a need for an empowered trade negotiator to consult with concerned ministries and as well as report to the Prime Minister, etc. And I want to give you one main question regarding this topic, that is for India, which is neither part of RCEP and as well as CPTPP. So the launch of this Indo-Pacific economic framework offers significant opportunity to ramp up trade and economic engagements in this Indo-Pacific region. Comment. So this is a question and try to write answer within 150 words. And now let us try to see next topic. Title says the Ukraine war and the global food crisis. So if you read this article, you will be getting a lot of insights regarding why this Russia-Ukraine war, which is related to this global food crisis. So this article is important from your GS paper to under international relations. So now let us try to talk about the first context why it is in news. As you all know, Russia started invading Ukraine from February 24th onwards. So on that day onwards, there are subsequent sanctions on its economy, and that led to the global food prices soaring and threatening. Because of that increasing of food prices and threatening of this food crisis, so it is mainly pushing millions of people, especially low-income countries, into starvation. So Ukraine and as well as its allies in the West, they have accused Russia of weaponizing this food. Okay, and they saying that its blockade of this Ukraine's Black Sea ports is one of the primary reason for rising of prices. So as you know that Ukraine, which is mainly having access to this Black Sea, and there are many important ports which are mainly located on this Black Sea. So whenever Russia, which mainly occupied this ports, this major ports, then that is one of the primary reason for this rising of prices. So this is the thing which mainly said by Ukraine and as well as other countries which are allies of this Ukraine. So if you see details, it mainly says that many countries, they were facing food insecurity even before this Russian war. So we are facing some challenges like climate change, conflicts, COVID-19 pandemic that already had been disrupted the supply chains. Okay, and because of this disrupting of the supply chains, that led to increasing of price of both commodities and as well as crops. So the war in this Ukraine, which mainly aggravated the situation, and as of June 1st, 2022, agriculture price index, which is 40% higher when we are comparing with that of this January 2021, and this is data which is given by this World Bank. And if you are talking about the price of wheat and as well as maize, which mainly rose at a very high rate, and global food, fuel and fertilizer prices, they are mainly projected to be very much high in this year. Okay, and this is about World Bank estimates. So almost all economies in the world, they had been hit by this higher food prices in the world, and we are also facing some food prices and as well as energy prices which are very high. So if you say in UK, inflation number which mainly hit 40 years high, and almost 90% of emerging markets and developing economies, they experience this food price inflation which is greater than 5% at this year. Okay, and low income countries, they have more vulnerable, they are much more vulnerable. So according to even United Nations World Food Program, it says that Ethiopia, Nigeria, South Sudan, Yemen, okay, they remain in a very high alert, and they are the hotspot of catastrophic conditions as well. So if we are talking about what is the importance of Russia and Ukraine in this food, so Russia and Ukraine, they together account for the quarter of this wheat supplies of a country. Okay, or we can say like in the world. So many countries, they are dependent on this imports of this Russia and Ukraine regarding wheat. So Russia's share in this global export market, especially in the wheat, here is it is the world most widely grown crop, and in some around 20%, while Ukraine accounts for 88% according to this US Food and Drug Administration Foreign Agriculture Service. And wheat is a staple for at least 35% of this world's population. So it is an estimate by this United Nations Food Agriculture Organization. So about 50 countries, they depend on Russia and Ukraine for more than 30% of their wheat imports. And according to this FAO here, Azerbaijan and Georgia, they source more than 80% of their imported wheat from Russia and Ukraine. And even Turkey, Egypt, Bangladesh, Lebanon, they meet 60% of their import from these two countries. And not only this, if you're talking about safflower oil, sunflower oil, they are largest producer of the safflower oil and as well as sunflower oil. So if you're talking about what are the causes of crisis, so as you all know, the ports in this Black Sea or Sea of Azov, they had been blocked by Russia. So because of this, 51 million tons of grain, which is mainly that to be exported, that had been present here in this godown itself. And exports, they had been collapsed since invasion of this Russia on this Ukraine. So several Ukrainian port cities include Mariupol, Kherson, Berdyansk, they are under Russian control now. So all the southern cities of this Mykolaiv and Odessa, which are known as the pearls of Black Sea, they are still with the Ukrainians, but commercial ships, they cannot dock at these ports because of these two reasons. What are those reasons? The first one is Ukrainians, they has minded the waters around these ports. They are deterrent against this potential Russian attacks. Okay, so because of that, there were no people, they were mainly coming to this port. And next one is because of this Western sanctions on this Russia, that also led to this increasing of this crisis. And even Russia, which is mainly facing some problem regarding fertilizers as well. So fertilizer price is also very much high. So because of this here, which will also make production of this food will be costlier process. And this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic is regarding RBI raises rates to tame inflation. So this article is important from your economy, which mainly comes under GS paper 3. So regarding this topic, you have to know about what is RBI monetary policy, what is this monetary policy committee, and you have to know about what is this inflation. So there are a number of questions which mainly asked in last year and even this year prelims regarding this inflation. So if you see context, it mainly says that Reserve Bank of India's monetary policy committee, which mainly voted unanimously to increase repo rate of 50 basis points, and now it will be 4.90 in a bid to slow inflation, which mainly estimates with average of 7.5% in the current April-June quarter. So RBI said that yes, we can go for increasing of this repo rate by 50 basis points. So if you see details, it mainly says that RBI move will increase borrowing cost. Okay. So whenever there is increasing of interest rate, that will increase the borrowing cost. For example, loans for cars, for buying of homes, MSME firms, etc. So because of this, what happened? It will be very much difficult for the people to get the loans, right? So here, what happens? So whenever there is decrease in the market supply of money in the market, then that will lead to controlling of inflation. So your monetary policy committee, which also decided to remain focused, and they are mainly said that they are going to withdraw this accommodative monetary policy and they want to come up with constructive monetary policy that will mainly support the growth. So here inflation has steeply increased much beyond the upper tolerance level. A large part of rise in inflation is primarily attributed to because of the severe supply chain shocks. So now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding India-Vietnam sign mutual logistic agreement. So this topic is important from your GS paper to under international relations. So here please open the map and see where this Vietnam is located, and you have to see even the countries to sharing boundary with Vietnam. And recently in 2022 there was one question regarding this Vietnam as well. Okay, so don't underestimate this topic. Okay, so if you see context, it mainly says that India, Vietnam, they signed memorandum of understanding regarding mutual logistic support during ongoing visit of our defense minister. Our defense minister, he is at Vietnam, and in this meet, they mainly came up with this memorandum of understanding and actually this mutual logistic support agreement which mainly signed between these two countries. And if you're talking about details, it mainly says that our defense minister, he signed this joint vision statement on India-Vietnam defense partnership towards 2030. and actually this partnership will be very much helpful in enhancing the scope and as well as scale of existing defense cooperation. And in these times, their increasing cooperative engagements that will be helpful for both the countries, and it is one of the major steps towards simplifying procedures for mutually beneficial logistic support. Okay, and India has signed several logistic agreements, okay, including with the countries which are part of this Quad, and France, Singapore, and as well as South Korea. So if we're talking about some facts regarding what is this logistics agreement. So this logistic agreement, they are like administrative agreements. They are very much helpful in facilitating access to these military facilities for exchange of fuel and as well as some provisions and mutual agreement that will be helpful for simplifying this logistic support and increasing the operational turnaround, okay, of a military when there is operating away from India. So this is about this logistic agreement. And now let us try to see yesterday's question. The first one is regarding advisory jurisdiction of Supreme Court, which mainly comes under Article 142 of Indian Constitution. So advice given by Supreme Court is binding. It is not at all binding. You can eliminate the first statement. So if you eliminate the first statement, answer will be 3, 2 and 4. The second statement here is advisory jurisdiction can be exercised over disputes arising out of references made for pre-constitutional treaties. Yes. Next one is when the president seeks the opinion of the Supreme Court, it is bound to give advice to the president. It is not at all like that. And next one is advice jurisdiction can be exercised over any law of public importance. Yes. So that option will be 3, 2 and 4. And next question is regarding president's rule. So the state legislature is either suspended or dissolved. Next one is the fundamental rights are suspended except 20 and 21. So actually in this president's rule there is no effect that is mainly seen on this fundamental rights. So you can eliminate this second statement. And next one is the parliament passes the state budget. Yes. President can promulgate ordinances for the government of the state. Yes. So correct option will be 1, 3 and 4. So these are yesterday's questions, and now let us try to see today's questions. So first one is regarding jurisdiction of High Court. And second question is regarding president's rule. So try to read the statements and give me the correct option in the comment box. Don't forget about this. Before seeing Hindu PDF, I want to make a small announcement. We in Rathod's IS, we came up with this mains answer writing course, and that course which is going to be started from this Monday. So please try to join that course. So that course is very, very beneficial. So the cost of this answer writing practice for 1 year, it is just 7,200 rupees. And apart from that, we also came up with the launching of this foundational course for entire 2023 and 2024 examination. So you can also take those courses. So that will be very, very useful. And the cost here is just 60,000 rupees with validity of 2 years. Okay, and now let us try to see today's Hindu PDF. So this is our today's Hindu date. Here is June 9th and this is Delhi edition. So if you see the first topic, I discussed about this first topic. It is regarding RBI raises rates to tame inflation. And next topic here is satisfied with India's action, Iran's minister. So this article which is mainly talking about some statements which are mainly made by two BJP leaders. Okay, here you have to know about OIC, that is Organization of Islamic Cooperation. And if you move forward, you can leave the city page, you can leave the states page. There is nothing much important, and you can directly move on to this editorial page. So this is page number 8. I discussed about this RBI. I discussed about this stay put, and actually these two articles are not much important. Actually this article which is mainly talking about fake encounter in this Hyderabad Disha case. Okay, and if you move forward in this page number 9, I discussed about this IPEF, and there is one article which is important from our polity point of view, that is Uniform Civil Code. So you have to refer that topic for sure. And if you move forward in this text and context, you can see this article regarding this Ukraine war I discussed, and there is one article that is regarding Indian secularism. You can refer. Actually today my health is not fine, so because of that I have to wind up this discussion very, very early so that I am completing. So you can refer to some articles that I am showing here on the screen. And in this 12th paper there is nothing much important, and in this 13th paper there is nothing much important, and this 14th paper you can see one article regarding environmental index ranking. So recently Environmental Performance Index 2022 which mainly released. So which is the agency? The agency here is Yale and Columbia universities. So what are the score which is mainly given to India which is not accepting that rank, so India is opposing. So high scoring countries, they exhibit long standing and continuing investments in policies that mainly protect environment, health, preserve biodiversity, habitat, conserve natural resources, and as well as decoupling of greenhouse emission gases from economic growth. Actually here if you see here this report which mainly says that India which is mainly not performing good, and we can see deteriorating of air quality and rapidly rising greenhouse gases that are mainly seen. So this is something which mainly said by this report. And regarding this India Vietnam, I discussed this topic. And next one is NHAI, National Highway Authority of India, road laying feat enters Guinness. So here actually this National Highway Authority of India, they build about 75 kilometers road within 105 days, 105 hours and 33 minutes. So because of this is the news, and if you are preparing for any public service examination, this might be useful. And in this world page there is nothing much important, and this 16th page, that is business page, you can see one article regarding this Indian economy well placed to deal with these challenges, says Das. So there are a number of articles regarding this RBI in this today's Hindu newspaper. So these are some articles which appeared in our Hindu. So by this I am concluding. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Please subscribe to Rathod Science Academy, and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos. And don't forget to enroll to the courses that we are providing. And if you want to watch demo videos, you can visit our website rathodscienceacademy.com. There you can watch 3 demo videos in each and every modules. And after watching those videos only, you can go for purchasing of the course. And for the PDF of this class, you can join the Telegram channel. Link is given in description box. Thank you so much. Go to Google and type Rathod's IAS. Then you can see our website Rathod Science Academy. There you have to click on login or register in the blue color. So if you have not registered yet, you have to click on do not have account and fill the details. You have to give your name, email ID, your mobile number and password, and finally you can click on this register button. And once your details are filled, then registration will be successful, and click on OK. And come back and click again on login and register, and you have to log in now. So after once you have login, click on the courses. There you can see course list, and in this course list you can see wide range of courses. So you can see Indian Society, CSAT, Ethics, International Relations, Essay, and if you buy all the courses, then we will be giving access to all these courses like History, Economy, Geography. And this is our mains answer writing course. There you can see different batches are there, and this is our prelims test series. If you want to watch demo videos, you have to click on play course, and in history we will be having 5 modules. So there, if you want to see demo videos in that so and so part of history, you can click on that play course. And before payment you can see only 3 demo videos, and after payment you can see all the videos will be displayed on the screen. You will
Hello
be
students,
having
welcome to
settings
Rathod
regarding
IAS.
quality and
My name is
also
Rajesh.
speed.
I'm your
You
history
can adjust
faculty.
according to
Today
your
in the part of
requirement.
the World History Lectures, the most
This is
important
about
topic
history.
in the world history of the UPSC CSA
And
exam, that is the French
next,
Revolution.
let us try to see other subject, international relations. Click on play course, and the same thing that will follows. Before payment 3 demo videos, after payment every video will be displayed on screen, and you can click on the play button, then full screen, and then settings. So this will be follows to all
Hello
the
all,
courses.
welcome to the lecture. A very important topic we are going to cover up in today's lecture, that is Indo-Pacific. Every day in newspaper we are hearing this word Indo-Pacific region and the importance.
This is regarding polity, and the faculty is Shashwat Raghav ma'am.
Hello and welcome everyone to Rathod's IAS. This is Shashwat Raghav, your polity faculty on this platform. We'll be basically covering our GS paper 2, and we very well know in GS paper 2 we have governance, constitution, polity, along with social justice and IR. By me, your constitution, polity and governance subjects will be covered. In UPSC side, for GS paper 2, only the subjects have been mentioned, the governance, constitution, polity, but faculties
This is about economy. So economy is taught by Sarvan sir. So these are some demo videos you can watch like this. And economy is
Welcome to
like
Rathod
112 hours of course.
Friends, from this class onward, Hi friends, my name is Sarvan Kumar. I am your economy faculty. Welcome to Rathod's IAS. Friends, in this class, we are going to study about the gross value added. What is the meaning of this gross value added? Now, under this, we have three heads: basic price, right? Factor.
And next is science and technology. You can click on the video and you can click on play button and full screen.
Welcome to Rathod IAS. To the DNA, that kind of bank is called as DNA data bank. So you need to create a DNA data bank at a national level, okay, where the information of all the criminals, okay, all the suspects.
So these are the number of courses that you can watch the demo videos, and after once you watch the demo videos and after once you're satisfied, so click on the buy now button, and after that you need to enter some details. Later on you can click on proceed and you can give your mobile number and also email ID, and finally you can use this Razor Pay payment system for the purchasing of these courses.